Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL TEW. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016, where we're booking as the WWF in the year 2001, running the invasion angle, and we are booking WCW Thursday Night Nitro, the last Nitro of the year 2001. We are in the final week of the year, booking the final Nitro of the year, heading to the final pay-per-view of the year, Armageddon. That's right, this is going to be the go-home show to Armageddon. Lots of stuff happening tonight, as we showed, or I guess hyped on Nitro tonight. Goldberg makes his debut, as Chris Jericho may be next, but he's not going to be first, because that belongs to the United States champion Christian. Also, we've got quite a few other matches here tonight. The fatal four-way matchup between Rhino, Rhino, Test, Hugh Morris, and Rick Steiner. But either way, let's just get right into this before we get into anything else. We got a couple of pre-show matches here. We got an abysmal pre-show match here with a 33E+. Daphne going over Nydia, one of the locally borrowed talents of the night here, in 4 minutes 58 seconds by pinfall. Of course, the crowd still not thrilled with seeing Daphne wrestle. Raven doing good work ringside. Nydia with a 10. Lovely. Daphne with a 42. Nydia's improving and flying. I guess that's good. And then in the pre-show main event, Val Venus makes his return after his suspension, I think it was, or I don't know. He got suspended for like drugs or something. Either way, 70C+, pretty good pre-show match here. Decent wrestling, not much way to heat though. The right to censor, the Good Father and the Good Father and Val Venus going under Tommy Dreamer and Sabu, my pretty much last attempt to get Sabu and Tommy Dream over before the pay-per-view. I could do them in a pre-show match at Heat. I'm trying to get Tommy over. I shouldn't say Sabu. He's a mid-carder. Tommy's still in that opener region, though. Either way, Dreamer and Sabu get the victory over the right to censor when Tommy Dreamer defeats Val Venus with the pile driver. Ivory did some good work ringside. Venus with a 59. Good Father with a 53. Sabu with a 76. And Tommy Dreamer with a 71. Calm it down. Tommy Dreamer, mind you, getting 71s as an opener. We are in the NJ. We are in the New Jersey area. I got to remember that. He is over in the New Jersey area. All right. Let's go to the opening segment of the show here with a 94 solid A rating here. Thursday Night Nitro opening up with the WCW World Heavyweight Champion Kurt Angle making his way down through the ring. Commentators are, not only putting over that he will be facing Booker T in a title match or defending his championship against Booker T, I should say, this Sunday at Armageddon, but they're also wondering why there's a podium once in the ring, or in the ring once again. Once in the ring, Kurt Angle goes over to the podium. He taps the mic and begins to speak. And he's like, "Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to WCW Thursday Night Nitro. Tonight we are going to have a great show. You're going to see six-man action as ECW's Rob Van Dam teams up with Los Guerreros to face Chuck Palumbo and the WCW Tag Team Champions Power Plant tonight. Also, the two women who will make history this Sunday will be in action as Molly Holly will team with the WCW Canadian Champion Lance Storm to face the WWF's Women's Champion Lita and Matt Hardy. And let's not forget our two main events tonight. First, 4 teams. Sorry about that, guys. Someone was asking me a question here. 4 teams compete this Sunday for the WWF Tag Team titles, and 4 of the men from those 4 teams tonight will compete in a fatal 4-way match when one half of the WWF Tag Team Champions, Rhino, will face Rick Steiner, Test, and Hugh Morris. And then Goldberg makes his televised debut when he battles the WCW United States Champion, Christian. All that and more tonight. Woo! But as great as tonight's show is going to be, we mustn't forget this Sunday. This Sunday at Armageddon, I defend our. That's supposed to be an O-U-R, not A-R-E, but whatever. Who cares? Grammar side, whatever, spelling, well, what you want. WCW Championship for the first time. And I know I must sound like a broken record by now, but I know a partnership between the companies is possible. And we've seen it slowly happening with all that's happened. With superstars like DDP and The Rock putting their differences aside and earning a newfound respect for each other. I mean, just this past week on Raw, we saw Cannon and Albert shake hands after their match. Two guys from two different companies shaking hands and then getting jumped by two guys from two different companies. There is no need for war when we could have an alliance. But Shane McMahon and Booker T have made it clear that that's not what they want. Which is why I need to win this Sunday. I can't let Booker T win this title back. Because if I do, then my dream of a company merger between the WWF and WCW will not only stay a dream, but my greatest nightmare will be realized when one of these prestigious companies close their doors for the last time and tons of great wrestlers lose their job because of a petty war between companies, between families. And then finally, the Giant's music hits to interrupt Kurt Angle, cut him off from his speech. Out comes the Giant, and he says, Kurt, just shut up. None of these people came here to hear you run your mouth about some pipe dream. Let me tell you something, Kurt. I'm one of the few guys here that's worked for the old WCW, the new WCW, and the WWF. And let me tell you what's driven me away and back every time. And that's management. I didn't like the way management was running things in WCW, so I left when the opportunity rose, whatever. Just like I did to the WWF after I jumped back over to WCW. You see, Shane McMahon gets it. And I'm not just going to stand back and let you badmouth him or try to stop what he started. And of course, I'd imagine Giants, was walking to the ring that entire time. He's now in the ring with Kurt. Kurt steps up. He's not intimidated. He says, well, with all due respect, Giant, I'm not allowed about, like I said, I can't talk today. I'm not about to let you stop me. That's what I was trying to say that entire time. What a hard sentence to say. Giant then steps back up and says, Kurt, have you seen what I've done these past weeks? I've taken DDP out of the picture before the WWF's mole got to bury us from the inside. And just this past week on Raw, I took out DDP's little friend, The Rock. And you know what, Kurt? I see something that you have that I want. So you know what? You've got a match with Booker T. I know you've got a match with Booker T at Armageddon. But tonight you're free. And since I can't get a title match at Armageddon, I want one tonight. Kurt, still not intimidated, even says, if you think you're going to intimidate me into a match, then you're wrong, Giant. But I'll tell you what, we might not be able to put this title on the line, but I can still kick your ass. And then Giant just simply goes, you know what? It doesn't matter if I get a title shot tonight. It's your funeral, Kurt. Once I'm through with you, you'll have to hand over that title because you won't be able to wrestle ever again. And then it'll be me to step up and face Booker T this Sunday. So yeah, I'll see you out there, champ. And we have our third main event, I guess, because Kurt said we have two main events, as it'll be the Giant versus Kurt Angle. Giant main eventing two shows this week. Show up to a strong start, got the crowd hotter. Kurt looked good, gained heat to the Booker-Kurt feud and Giant DDP feud. No improvements, but like I said, definitely confirms in our main event and also hypes up pretty much the entire show's events here tonight. But before we can get to the Lance Storm Molly Holly match, or should I say Lance Storm Molly Holly versus Lita and Matt Hardy match, Matt Hardy, he's backstage. He's hurt. He's laying out. He's knocked out cold. He's unconscious. 77B here. The fans are like, what the hell is going on here? We've brought the fans in as Matt Hardy might not be able to compete tonight. He's out. We then come back from a commercial break here as we get to a solid 62. But before we can go to that, apparently Mean Gene's gimmick is getting stale. Never thought I'd have to, tweak Mean Gene's gimmick. But either way, we're backstage to a solid 62C here. Mean Gene, he says, hello fans, with me at this time are the two superstars to set the face Matt Hardy and Lita tonight in mixed tag team action, the WCW Canadian champion Lance Storm and Molly Holly. Except there's one problem. Matt Hardy's been attacked backstage and everyone is pointing the blame in your two's direction. Is that correct, Rammer? I don't know. You can tell I've written these at different points in time as well. But either way, Storm goes on to reply to Mean Gene and says, Mean Gene, that's preposterous. Molly and I would have no reason to attack Matt. For one, we get to attack Matt all we want in tonight's match if he was clear to compete. And for two, I'll get I'll get to beat him up. I am just horrible today, guys. I apologize for this shoddy commentary. But he goes on to say, and I'll get to beat him up even more this Sunday if he's clear to compete. And the Mean Gene goes, well, what about you, Molly? What about Molly? She sure has said some hateful things about Matt in the past. And then Storm goes, how dare you, Mean Gene? You should be ashamed of yourself, of accusing a lady of such a heinous action. And then Molly steps up and says, it's all right, Lance. I didn't do it, Mean Gene, but I wish I did. But I guess karma has finally caught up to Matt Hardy. And then Storm goes, yeah. So instead of, accusing us, Mean Gene, why don't you go look for his loser little brother, since he's the only one who would have actually benefited from this attack. And then Lance Storm and Molly go walking away while Mean Gene just sits there kind of like, what do you mean? But, they're already gone. Did lose heat, but that's fine. But Mean Gene, like I said, he's looking stale. Have to give him a new gimmick. We lead into our opening match of the night, which does an impressive 77 solid B rating here. Oh boy, that's not good though. This was our Wild Brawl match of the night. We have a decent match here with Rob Van Dam, Eddie Guerrero, and Chavo Guerrero, Los Guerreros, going over Chuck Palumbo and the Tag Team Champions Power Plant when Eddie Guerrero defeats Sean Stasiak with a frog splash after a botched interference from Lord Regal. So I'd imagine Regal, maybe Stasiak holding Guerrero there. He ducks it. Regal accidentally hits him with the power of the punch, a.k.a. Brass Knuckles. Guerrero kicks Regal off. RVD and Chavo go do a dive over the ropes to take Palumbo and Jindrak out, which then leads to the frog splash for Eddie Guerrero to pick up the victory. Something I'm not happy about here is Mark Jindrak sustaining a bruised tailbone. Hopefully, and I mean hopefully, that does not take him out of action. He's supposed to be in action this Sunday. Either way, though, Eddie Guerrero is getting better at his gimmick. Regal did some good working ringside. Jindrak was slowed by injury, which sucks. Chavo Guerrero with a 48 in-ring performance, most likely the weakest of the match. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and confirm that because I didn't read these parts here. Because Rob Van Dam apparently was head and shoulders above everybody else, where Chavo Guerrero was the weak link. Either way, Eddie with a 73, Rob Van Dam with an impressive 87, Sean Stasiak with a 64, Mark Jindrak with a 64, and Chuck Palumbo with a 76. Of course, this angle gained heat to the Guerrero's power plant feud, but Palumbo and RVD are just steady. Jindrak is improving in performance despite his injury. But here comes the road agent. What the hell, road agent? You're supposed to let me know that Mark Jindrak was injured. Some people. Either way, we go to a 70 C+ rating here. We're backstage. We're in a dark room where Raven sits. He's got the flock, both Vampiro and Daphne, standing by his side, while a light bulb just hangs above them, swinging back and forth. One of those, interrogation kind of things where, the light bulb just hangs on like a string. Either way, Raven begins to talk, and he says, Tommy, you and I have been going at this for far too long. This war that started in our childhood has gone on for far too long. This war you started, Tommy, this war that I must end, Tommy, has gone on for far too long. But no matter how many times I think I've ended this war, you come back like the annoying cockroach living at the bottom of my boot that you are, Tommy. And now you've brought backup. You brought backup in that crazy lunatic Sabu. Sabu shouldn't be under a WWF payroll, let alone, whatever I should say. Sabu shouldn't be under a WWF payroll. He should be in under psychiatric care. But do you think that'll help, Tommy? Do you think that the homicidal, that the suicidal, the genocidal, the death-defying Sabu is going to help you? Because he's not. Because I, too, have a man destined for a straitjacket in Vampiro. But until that, he works for me. And this Sunday, Tommy, Sabu, well, you know what? I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise, so I'll tell you what. Why don't you watch what Vampiro and I do to Perry Saturn and Big Boss Man, and we'll give you a little bit of a preview. Or I guess he should say, whatever, I didn't finish it, so pretty much what he would say is I would give you a preview of what's to go. Either way, Raven cutting a final promo, I guess you should say, to Tommy Dreamer and Sabu. And I don't know if we've gone ahead and booked in this match. We've had quite a few matches booked in for this pay-per-view. But, yeah, it's already in there. Either way, though, Daphne looking lost, but that's fine, as we lead into a commercial break, probably. Nope, before we go into the commercial break, or maybe coming back, whatever, fits, I guess. 66C plus here, as we're backstage, we see Lita, who is walking in the hallway before she walks into the Team Extreme locker room, where Jeff Hardy is sitting there waiting for her, and then Jeff Hardy stands up, he says, Lita, tell me, how's Matt? And then Lita goes up, he's fine, Jeff. The doctor said he's fine, he has to sit out tonight, but he should be fine for this Sunday. And then Jeff goes on to say, well, that's good. I know this match Sunday means more to Matt than it does me. I'd hate to have for him to, well, what am I trying? I'd hate to have him hate me for that too. Pretty much, going on to say that, Matt's pretty much blaming Jeff for all his problems right now. Lita then goes, that's not fair, Jeff. Matt's just going through a rough patch right now. He feels he's stuck in the shadow of his younger brother. But still, I can't believe that Lance or Molly or both attacked Matt. And then they had the audacity to blame you. And then Jeff replies saying, yeah, well, you know I didn't do it. So I say tonight, why don't I take Matt's spot and you and I go out there and kick the real culprit's ass? And pretty much just sets up that, instead of doing Matt and Lita versus Molly and Lance, we're going to see Jeff take that spot. Either way, maybe Lance had a point. He had the most to gain. Did lose heat to the Storm Hardy Boys feud, though. As we go into the matchup between Raven and Vampiro between Bossman and Saturn. 73 B- here. Decent wrestling, not much weighing heat. Raven and Vampiro going over the Big Bossman and Perry Saturn in 8 minutes 24 seconds after Raven defeats Perry Saturn with the pile driver. Bossman, weak link, struggling to keep up with everyone else's in-ring performance, but him and Perry still have that great chemistry. Bossman with a 57, Perry Saturn with a 67, Vampiro with a 67 as well, and Raven with a 73. Perry's improving in technical. And then after the match, we go to a 57 C- here. Obviously, nothing wrote in. Just a quick segment that I can explain myself. Lights go out, lights come back on. Nobody's in the ring. Pretty much Raven, Vampiro, Daphne, the flock, abducting Perry Saturn and Big Boss Man. As we saw last week on Nitro, if you remember, Raven offered Perry Saturn a spot to join the flock once again. Saturn wasn't having any of that, pretty much saying that Raven abused him. Raven then went on to abuse him in a match. Tommy Dreamer saved them that week. Tommy and Sabu are not here tonight because of reasons that... Yeah, reasons. But either way, they're not here. They're not here to save them, pretty much. And Raven and the flock abduct both Perry Saturn and Big Boss Man. We then go to a solid B here with an 82. Backstage, we see Rhino. He's getting ready for his fatal four-way matchup here when his mentor, the other half of the WWF Tag Team Champion, Stone Cold Steve Austin, walks in. He says, "Hey, Rhino, let me talk to you for a minute. Tonight's a big match. It's what I like to call the momentum grabber. Now, I know I told you to do what I did on Raw, but, and I still think you damn well should, except this time don't take your damn eyes off the enemy for a second, and don't underestimate them either. I know I didn't think Canyon was winning that damn match, maybe Albert or Scott Steiner, but not Canyon. Which is why tonight, Rhino, I want you to especially keep an eye on Hugh Morris. These multi-man matches work to both Canyon and Morris' advantage. They can hide between everybody. But most importantly, I want you to go out there and win, because we need to win, damn it!" Just a psych-up thing here, pretty much. Austin, a real star in this segment, and Rhino was fantastic. Jeez, Rhino's really got, improved. This, I guess, over the couple of months we've been running this save. Either way, 73 B- for our tag team match here that had decent wrestling, but not much weight and heat. Lance Storm and Molly Holly going over Jeff and Lita after Lance Storm defeats Jeff Hardy with the last call super kick after distraction from Matt Hardy. Molly Holly was the weak link in this matchup here, but what I'd like to imagine here is, the whole gimmick. Matt, I guess, didn't go to the hospital or left or whatever. His music plays. Jeff may be going for a swanton. Matt being, coming down, he's kind of got like a beeline to the ring. He's going right to Lita pretty much and just grabbing her and walking out while, like I said, Jeff already up on the ropes going for a swanton, but that distraction, that music playing distracted him, which led to Lance Storm hitting this last call super kick. Matt pulling Lita away, 1, 2, 3. Lance and Molly get the victory. Molly with a 50, Lance Storm with a 77, best in the match. Lita with a 62, and Jeff Hardy with a 73. We then go into an 80B, just a camera view on Goldberg's door, showing that, well, tonight we're going to see Goldberg in action, pretty much. We then go to an 81B as we're backstage in the locker room of Chris Jericho and the WCW United States Champion Christian, Goldberg's opponent tonight. The man who will be first. And Christian, he's a little nervous, and he's like, hey, Chris, are you sure I've got to go through with this? I mean, it is Goldberg we're talking about here. You sure I just can't call out sick or something? And then Jericho's like, what? Christian, no. Look, we got a plan. Just stick to it, buddy. I promise you, I won't let anything happen to you tonight. And then Christian's just like, well, if you say so. And that's pretty much just it. Just a segment in between as we go into a 72B minus here. As we're backstage, we see Jeff Hardy. He's trying to catch up with Matt and Lita. And he's just like, Matt, come on, man. Will you wait up? And then Matt, of course, Lita's sitting there coming. You should just beg Matt, come on, stop. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And then Matt, he says, why should I stop for this backstabbing brother? I know it was you who attacked me. You've been trying to push your way into my issues all our lives or something. I don't know. Like I said, I've written these a while back. So either way, he continues going on saying, all because your selfish need for gold needs to be fed. And then Jeff goes, your issues? Are you forgetting that all this started back when Lance Storm tried to end my career? When he refused to let me out of a sharpshooter? Something he would have done if my brother wasn't watching my back. And then Matt goes on to say, yeah? And where were you to watch my back? Oh, that's right. You were too busy stabbing me in the back so you can go team up with my girlfriend and then have Lance Storm all to yourself this Sunday. Not happening, Jeffrey. I'll see you Sunday when I beat you and Storm and take back my European Championship. And I'm pretty sure, again, I've already confirmed in that match as well, but yeah. Yeah, there we go. Matt Hardy, he's straight up, he's blaming Jeff. He doesn't think Storm or Molly did it. He thinks Jeff attacked him. We then go into our fatal four-way matchup here. 85B+. Decent matchup. Rhino does indeed get the victory. The momentum grabber, as Stone Cold Steve Austin likes to call it. When he defeated Hugh Morris, Test, and Rick Steiner in 11 minutes 52 seconds after pinning Hugh Morris with the pile driver. Not even a gore. Too many pile drivers. We need to get rid of that move. 85B+ here. Rhino, of course, slowed by his injury that he got on Raw, but he'll be ready for the pay-per-view, I believe. Rhino with an in-ring performance of an 87. Still the best in the match despite injury. Morris with a 74, Test with an 81, and Rick Steiner with a 66, the lowest of the match. We then go into a 79 solid B here. We see Giant, he's getting ready for his match. Again, I have not taken Shane McMahon off of... I'm putting this up in here. That's something I always forget. Take Shane off book. And I know I spelled Shane wrong, but I don't care. It'll be erased by the next time you guys even see it. So Giant, he's getting ready for his matchup at night against Kurt. That's when Booker T walks in, not only the former WCW World Champion, but number one contender. Giant, he ain't having any of it. He immediately goes, what the hell do you want, Book? And Book's like, easy, big man. I ain't here for no problems. The exact opposite, actually. You see, tonight, you get Kurt. But earlier you mentioned something about taking him out and facing me at Armageddon instead of him. And the Giant says, yeah, what about it? Well, I like it. In fact, I liked it so much that I spoke to Shane, and he told me to tell you, off the books, you take him out tonight, you get your damn match. And the Giant just smiles and he says, I was planning on doing it either way. And Shane pretty much, well, I mean, we just said it, but off the books here, no, it's not supposed to be known. But if Giant takes Kurt out, he's going to take Kurt's place pretty much. Then we have our 90 solid A rating here as we have the entrance of Goldberg making his first entrance on WWF TV here on Nitro. We lead into said matchup, which gets a solid 60 C here. Oh boy. How? Probably because it was so short. I'd have to look in the dirt sheet here. But I'm looking at their in-ring, and that's why I was like, how? In an extremely short match, definitely because it was so short, I'm assuming. Goldberg defeating Christian in 2 minutes 35 seconds with the spear. To my surprise, Goldberg and Christian have great chemistry. Alrighty then. Not enough selling shown here. It was 3 minutes, Goldberg. Come on. Goldberg with a 99 in-ring performance and Christian with a 91. Again, I'm not sure why this did so bad. I'm going to assume that it was just because of the fact that it was, such a short match. In fact, it looks like, the lack of selling and short match is what did it in. But that's fine because, this was just supposed to be a quick little squash match for Goldberg as we go into an 85B here with Jericho, going in to go after Goldberg, but Goldberg kind of like turning back and Jericho kind of getting intimidating here as he backs off and gets out of the ring, and then he tries to pull Christian out with him, but Goldberg's not having any of that as he once again hits Christian with the is it jackknife? No, jackhammer. I always confuse the jackknife and the jackhammer. Hits him with the jackhammer, and then, just looking at Chris Jericho while Jericho just sits there looking all worried, pretty much. Goldberg looked good. Jericho's getting better at his gimmick, and he looked excellent here. And then, this was supposed to be afterwards. Well, remember this, 84B plus here. Main event of the night gets an 82 solid B, an exceptional match. Kurt Angle going over the Giant in 11 minutes 37 seconds with the Angle Slam. Oh yeah, DDP's music goes off. He doesn't come out, but his music goes off, distracts the Giant long enough for Kurt Angle to hit him with the Angle Slam. A huge Angle Slam from Kurt Angle. Pins him 1, 2, 3, gets the victory. And as we saw just a couple seconds ago after the match, Kurt Angle was going to be celebrating, and similar to what happened on Raw, Booker T comes out and attacks Kurt, pretty much beating him down like Triple H did to The Rock, sending him a message. Kurt Angle with a 92 and the Giant with an 89 here tonight. Kurt, look at you go. We end off the show to get a 86, not 5, 86 B plus rating here to end off, increasing our region or popularity in only one region. Nitro's kind of becoming the B show, but that's alright, because SmackDown was always the B show. Got fantastic reviews. Alright, so he's working through the pain. And a botched move from Rob Van Dam. I wonder if he has like a... No, they don't hate each other or anything. Currently working through a bruised tailbone. Hopefully it's not like too bad. He's working through it though, so. Kurt Angle, Mark Jindrak is a star in the making. The kid could make us some serious money in the future. Oh, I know. What do we got here? A pay raise from Christian Cage and Tommy Dreamer. Christian, ooh. It's a lot of money you're requesting there, Christian. But you know what? Usually I only give people 75, but I think Christian deserves that. We're going to give him the full pay raise. Yeah, there you go, Christian. And Tommy? Why fuck not? Give me the full pay raise too. I'm feeling generous. Although, something I do need to check real quick, though. I need to check medical. 6 days. Yeah, he'll definitely be injured at the pay-per-view. But Rhino is going to be fine. Yeah, he's going to be injured at pay-per-view, which sucks. Either way, though, nerds and geeks, hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you have not already. And as always, my name has been OMG, WTF, LOL, FTW, BRB. And I will see you guys for Sunday Night Heat and Armageddon, because they will be uploaded on the same day. You know how I do. Pay-per-views and Heats go up on the same day. Either way, whatever. I'll see you guys then. So until then, have a great day.